This week in Jamaica Now, Anne-Marie Vaz loses her U.S. diplomatic visa and her application for a visitor's visa is denied. Renewed concerns about crime in Jamaica. 9 shot, 4 fatally in Kitson Town, St. Catherine. The government seeks another 3-month extension of the state of public emergency. The opposition only agrees to 30 days. Miss Universe Jamaica turns heads and turns favours in her Annie Palmer-inspired costume. Boris Johnson leads Britain's Conservative Party to a landslide victory and a Brexit mandate. And St. Catherine records malaria case. I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. The United States has revoked the diplomatic visa of Portland Eastern MP Anne-Marie Vaz. The development comes just over a month after her husband, Government Minister Darrell Vaz, also lost his diplomatic visa. At the time, Mr. Vaz said the U.S. Embassy in Kingston had advised him that since issuing the visa, it had received information that he may be ineligible. In the meantime, it is understood that since the revocation of her U.S. diplomatic visa, Mrs. Vaz has applied to the U.S. Embassy in Kingston to renew her regular visa, but the application was rejected. Mr. Vaz said his wife is currently pursuing the matter with the U.S. Embassy in Kingston. There was renewed focus on crime in Jamaica this week as 9 people were shot, 4 fatally, on Tuesday night in the quiet St. Catherine community of Dover near Kitson Town. They were among patrons at a shop when a group of gunmen came on the scene and opened fire. One eyewitness said it was a night of horror.
3 hours down there, so I see 2 men running, one have 2 guns, and they start fire shot and I get down. Some of them play Lulu this, so one of them, a big man, went back, turned to the road. If himself turned to the road, in dead right there. So the man that died, I feel when I take the last breath because my head was on his belly, so I feel when I breathe and I breathe hard and then he stop breathing and I say he ain't dead now. I was the only one that don't get any injured. Because I'm still running and when the guy drop off of the seat, me drop and then come finish him. And I hold on my head see him and lay down there. Oh, it's sad.
The victim she was referring to is 46-year-old laborer Dennis Price. The other victims are 67-year-old truck driver Gladstone Grange, alias Bigger, Marcus Anthony White, otherwise called Beba, a 38-year-old haulage contractor, and 42-year-old bartender Patricia King. 4 other victims remain in hospital nursing injuries. The Gleaner understands that the 5th victim did not seek medical attention. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the quadruple murder may have been gang-related. On Wednesday, Pauline Smith was a shadow of herself as she was crippled with grief at the loss of her daughter. In the meantime, the opposition this week told the government that it would not support another 3-month extension of the state of public emergency. Instead, the opposition voted to extend the security measure by 30 days. The parishes of St. James, Westmoreland, Hanover, and Clarendon, as well as St. Catherine, are currently under states of public emergency, in addition to the St. Andrews South Police Division. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang told lawmakers that ending the SOEs would reverse the gains made, but the opposition insisted that it was not working.
While the social intervention takes primacy at this stage, the presence of security forces is necessary to achieve the broader aim of increased citizen security and public safety. To speak of the objective of the security force at this time will also continue to facilitate the conditions for social intervention while concurrently achieving recovery of weapons, ammunition, and contraband.
It was never intended, in our view, that you can have 2 years of suspension of citizens' rights without damaging, ultimately, the foundations of our democracy.
St. Catherine's Chief Public Health Officer, Grayson Hutchinson, is reporting that the parish has recorded 1 case of malaria. Hutchinson made the report at the monthly meeting of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation this week. He said the female patient recently visited an African country and on her return to Jamaica she became ill. She later tested positive for malaria. The Health Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has said it is usual to get 1 or 2 malaria cases a year. He says once a case is discovered, the established protocol is triggered. There was intense media backlash this week for the Miss Universe Jamaica Iana Tickle Garcia over her national costume. The costume was based on Annie Palmer, the infamous White Witch of Rose Hall. Social media users believe the choice was inappropriate and insensitive. Amid the furore, Miss Universe Jamaica organizers Carl Williams and Mark McDermott of Azure International stood firm with their design and what they said it represents. The duo is claiming success in a mission to coax educational discourse. Jamaica this week launched the Adult Passport Online Renewal System. CEO of the Passport Immigration and Citizenship Agency, Andrew Winter, says the system will increase efficiencies and cut travel time for applicants.
The process is very simple. You just log on to www.pika.gov and click on the online adult passport renewal icon. Complete eligibility questions, complete the application, verify your email address, access the input verification code sent by email to you, upload your image, make your payment, submit your application, and that is how easy.
Mr. Winter says in the first phase, the online renewal system will only be for machine-readable passports. This means holders of old blue passports will not be able to use the service. In the United Kingdom, Prime Minister Boris Johnson's Conservative Party has won a solid majority of seats in Britain's Parliament. It is a decisive outcome to a Brexit-dominated election that should allow Johnson to fulfill his plan to take the UK out of the European Union next month. Johnson said it looked like the Conservatives had a powerful new mandate to get Brexit done. The victory will likely make Johnson the most electorally successful Conservative leader since Margaret Thatcher. Meanwhile, it was a disaster for left-wing Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn, who faced calls for his resignation even as the results rolled in. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, controversy over the Annie Palmer-inspired costume of Miss Universe Jamaica. Here are some of the comments that appeared on social media.